Welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. It's been a while since my last full-length video, partly because I've been training for my first bodybuilding show, which is about a month away, and I am feeling drained as I lose the last 10 pounds. After I compete, I'll make another video detailing how my training has changed drastically, what my nutrition looks like, and all things show related. But today I want to show 11 home gym products that I have been using to help me prepare for stepping on stage. First up, the GymPin seatbelt. I've wanted one of these for a while because most people who use them say they're game changers, and really good old school equipment like Nautilus always included these on their machines to help the lifter stay planted. The seatbelt only costs $25. However, if you're in the US and you're ordering from the UK, shipping is going to run you $33, and I wasn't willing to pay more in shipping than I was for the belt. Luckily, GymPin has a US distributor called On Repeat Sports that sells this for $25 with free shipping. I ordered this on a Saturday and it arrived a week later via USPS. I first tried the seatbelt for leg extensions on the Titan Fitness seated leg curl leg extension machine, and immediately my rep and weight went up a significant amount, enough to where I couldn't just say I was having a really good workout. Luckily, I was able to replicate the success of that training session with every consecutive workout. It's really nice taking some of the stress off of my forearms and grip as I try to keep myself planted and distributed around my waist. And the seatbelt works equally as good for leg curls. Even though this leg curl machine has a roller that rests across the thighs, it's also nice to have the seatbelt rest across the waist to further keep me planted. Even though the GymPin seatbelt works extremely well, I would like to be able to tighten it just a little more than it seems to allow. When I ordered the seatbelt, I was looking forward to using it for two additional exercises: the back supported tricep pushdown and the cable pullover. And luckily it works great for both of those because I was coming off of the bench when I didn't have this around my waist. After testing out the GymPin seatbelt, I wanted to have a second one so I could have one permanently on the Titan machine and one over there on my cable machine. But then luckily I remembered I ordered a replacement seatbelt for my Nautilus 2ST Super Pullover because Fitness Equipment Empire sent me a $3,000 machine with a broken seatbelt. And luckily when I ordered this from Full Circle Padding, they sent me two. Now, unlike the GymPin, which is a perfect loop, this one is in two pieces, and I was able to bolt each side of the seatbelt into the Titan machine, so now this is a permanent fixture on this seated leg curl leg extension machine. You'll notice on the GymPin seatbelt, I have seatbelt covers just so the belt doesn't get torn on the metal frame of my bench. And you'll notice on the belt from Full Circle Padding, I have elbow sleeves so the belt doesn't tear the seat cushion. I have my bench weighed down, and it is wild to me how much easier the same weight feels when I have this seatbelt on. I can drive my hips against the belt. I don't have to worry about core strength. So this is all triceps. I will note I can get the seatbelt from Full Circle Padding just a little bit tighter than I can get the seatbelt from GymPin, but both of these were great purchases and they helped me to increase my weight and get a couple of extra reps on my work sets. I am an affiliate for GymPin, so if you do purchase a GymPin product, especially if you're in the UK, please consider using my affiliate link. You may have noticed that I had something other than the cheap foam pipe insulation that constantly slides around and even off of the Atlas bar, and it really doesn't even provide that much cushion. Even in my review for the Atlas bar, I said the padding was the weak link. Luckily, after I got tired of constantly adjusting the pads, I thought that a pool noodle would be the perfect replacement. About a year ago, I tried to replace the foam pipe insulation with roller pads from the Powertec leg extension leg curl attachment. Unfortunately, the diameter of those pads is a little too big and they made exercises feel awkward. So lo and behold, a $1 pool noodle with a small diameter hole provides just enough cushion, it doesn't slide around, and you can customize the colors. Of course, I went with yellow to match Powertec's color scheme. The Atlas bar is my all-time favorite cable attachment because of the versatility it offers, and it allowed me to work around a horrible bout of golfer's elbow. I'll have this linked in my Amazon affiliate store if you want to take a closer look at it. The grip globe from Hypertrophy by Design is next. This product was sent to me for free with no strings attached. The owner told me he just wanted my feedback, and if I never showcased the product, that was totally cool. I sat on this product for a couple of months until I started feeling my golfer's elbow get re-aggravated. Then I brought this product back out. I've suffered with golfer's elbow and tennis elbow quite a bit over the years, and it normally corresponds with an increase in volume or an increase in strength. Once elbow tendonitis goes full-blown, it is so hard to get rid of, and it significantly impacts performance. So now whenever I feel the slightest twinge in my elbow, I get out the grip globe and I perform some reps. It works for supination, it works for pronation, and it works for flexion. For those of you who want to work on your fishing game, a little bit of weight goes a long way. For example, 5 is all I really need. And because of the cable design, each exercise provides a pretty consistent resistance profile. I can even attach the grip globe to a loading pin or cable machine to perform exercises, but planting my arm on something like the pads of the Powertec Hyper Crunch is my favorite way to use the grip globe. Here's another setup option with the grip globe, now at 10 pounds, and you'll notice this cable runs along a track which keeps the cable and the weight from moving all over the place. I think it's important to mention that Hypertrophy by Design is a small business owner who is just getting started, and he also offers these cables. And at one point in time, I had these cables linked in my Amazon affiliate store, but the company changed the length of them and made them much shorter, so I removed them. But if you want to get something like this, you can reach out to Hypertrophy by Design just in case you want to extend the cables on your functional trainer or a lat pull-down machine. Even if you're not dealing with elbow tendonitis, the grip globe is an excellent forearm builder, and it can be used for preventative care. Now, I could do many of these exercises with other tools, such as bars and dumbbells, but I wouldn't be able to load something like this as incrementally as I would something like this. And as I mentioned, the cable provides a pretty consistent resistance profile. These sell for $40 a piece. Right now, they're offered in 3 different colors. And by the time this video comes out, I might be an affiliate for Hypertrophy by Design. Next up, the Mad Spider dumbbell hooks. But hang with me for a second because I am not using these in the way they're intended to be used. I really only used these back when I had the Iron Master gym inside and I was dumbbell pressing on my hardwood floors. But if I am dumbbell pressing out in my garage on these stall mats, I am just going to pick up the dumbbells as normal and then drop them on the floor when I'm done with the set. So because I really wasn't using these Mad Spider dumbbell hooks, I ended my affiliation with the company and put these in the closet and largely forgot about them. However, as I've been getting ready for this upcoming bodybuilding show, I've been doing a lot more free weight work, including dumbbell chest supported rows, but getting into position for that exercise isn't exactly easy. So as I started looking for a solution, I remembered the dumbbell Mad Spider hooks. Now, easily and seamlessly, I can grab the dumbbells for upper back rows, for rows to target the lats, and even for Kelso shrugs. I've had 3 different Mad Spider models, and this is one of the newer ones, and presently the only one I have. In order for this to work, you will need some type of a handle to go in that grip. This is from the Rogue Multi-Grip Camber Bar, and that works good. But my preferred grip is from some functional trainer straps that I've repurposed. I pulled out the nylon strap, and now I just have the handle, and that fits in there perfectly. Because there's no wasted energy, I can now use heavier dumbbells for these exercises, and I decrease my chance of injury because it's so much easier to get into position. As I mentioned, I've been doing a lot more free weight work to prepare for this upcoming bodybuilding show, so I went into my attic and brought down this old Texas power bar that my dad had given me. Unfortunately, I didn't have any great place to store it, so I got Powertec's landmine attachment, which also works great for barbell storage, as well as their battle rope anchor. Both attachments arrived from the West Coast to the East Coast in about a week. Normally Powertec ships FedEx, but these came UPS and they arrived in excellent condition without issue. Both attachments are extremely well made, and the landmine sells for about $120 and the battle rope anchor sells for about $45. I think the red attachments on the black power rack really pop. And although I don't plan on using the landmine for squats, Viking presses, or anything like that, it does work good for Meadows rows and this twisting ab exercise that I like a lot. And I don't plan on using the battle rope anchor for battle ropes. Instead, it's a great place to secure strength bands to perform exercises that I do during my warm-up. It's also a great place to hold on to perform this old school ab exercise that I saw Bruce Lee do back in the day. I could make an entire 15-minute video just on the Kensui Easy Vest alone, but I'll try to be succinct and share where I think this product really shines in my present training routine. Kensui had reached out to me a couple of times over the last few years to review their products, and each time I politely declined. However, when my bodybuilding coach told me I needed to start doing cardio with a weighted vest, Kensui immediately came to mind, and luckily they still wanted to work with me. Kensui sent me their top-tier Easy Vest V2 Max, which sells for $299. This shipped from Kansas via USPS, and it arrived in 5 days. The packing job was phenomenal, and Kensui even included their shorter XT sleeves for floor push-ups. I was immediately impressed with Kensui's quality. Everything feels top of the line, and assembly is simply twisting the sleeves into the chest and back plates. The vest's biggest selling point is being able to use your own plates to load it to a max weight capacity of 300 pounds, which I really don't think is feasible for most people, especially if you're working out solo because it's just so hard to get into position. So that 300-pound max weight capacity just gives me a lot of peace of mind that the vest will hold up to whatever I want to throw at it. Without any plates, this has a starting weight of 8 pounds, and if you ever wanted to, you could remove these foam inserts and just have the nylon straps. And the reason this is Kensui's top tier vest is because of its 300-pound max weight capacity, but also because of these buckles, which are extremely easy to unlatch and latch which I think are an improvement over the Velcro models. I think it's easy enough to get the vest on and off when there's only 20 or 30 pounds loaded on it. However, anytime I go over 50, I find it easiest to load the back plate on the floor, flip the vest, then lay inside of it, flip the front plate over my chest, and load the front plate from a laying position on the floor. From there, I can either use my power rack or TRX to get to a standing position, and 120 pounds on the vest is about my limit to comfortably get from a seated to a standing position. I really like to use the vest for decline push-ups, and even though it doesn't look like it because of the camera's angle, it also works great for incline push-ups. But if I'm doing elevated horizontal push-ups, I find loading pin push-ups to be faster, easier, and more comfortable to perform. But loading pin push-ups don't work as good as the Kensui vest for incline and decline push-ups because gravity pulls the loading pin either to my body or to my face. The Kensui vest will certainly work for pull-ups and dips, but I just find it so much easier and faster and even more comfortable to load my dip belt. And the Kensui vest is great for calf raises, squats, and lunges, but again, I think it's so much easier to use dumbbells and barbells unless you're at a beach, the park, or on vacation, and you just don't have access to barbells and dumbbells. Something I think worth mentioning is how much your breathing will be impacted the heavier you load the vest. I've had this 90 pounds on for a couple of minutes, and it's definitely getting harder for me to breathe. So my breathing is being impacted at this point in time more so than my muscles. During testing, I found the vest worked pretty good for hip and back extensions on the Powertec Hyper Crunch, but I prefer to use dumbbells to load those exercises. However, I do think the Kensui vest outshines barbells and dumbbells for plyo box step-ups, and if you're into TRX training, the Kensui vest is a great way to increase the intensity. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this segment, I wanted the Kensui vest to increase the intensity of my cardio sessions, and before I got it, I tried loading my old JanSport book bag from high school with plates, but unfortunately the plates never felt like they were truly centered in the middle of the book bag, even though I loaded the book bag with foam. And as I started to use this over the course of a few days, just having the plates distributed on one side of my body started to aggravate my lower back. Also, especially when it was a little bit colder and I was wearing a hooded sweatshirt and I had my book bag on, I always felt like my neighbors were looking at me kind of funny, kind of like I was up to no good. But when they see me with my Kensui vest and plates on the front and back, my neighbors know what's up. One day, my wife and I went to the park to do some cardio and I was wearing the Kensui vest. And when people see you wearing the Kensui vest, they normally do a double take because there is no doubt that you're taking cardio very seriously. I would much rather be outdoors with the Kensui vest on than indoors and confined to a piece of cardio equipment. In fact, I sold my Concept 2 ski erg and rower just because they weren't getting used. So when I load the Kensui Easy Vest with about 15 pounds, that takes the place of walking on a treadmill at an incline for me. I just prefer the fresh air. Time goes by so much faster when I'm outdoors compared to when I'm inside on a piece of cardio equipment. And I even had the opportunity to save a turtle's life one day on one of my walks. Now, outdoor cardio does come with some risks. I might get attacked by wild dogs. I really need to limit my sun exposure because of the big C diagnosis I got a while back, so I either need to walk early in the morning or late at night. In my neighborhood, I have to watch out for bears, and I do worry from time to time about drivers not paying attention. When I'm out here doing these 30-minute walks, I've found it best to have the vest loaded a little bit heavier in the back. So for example, when I'm using 15 pounds, 5 in the front, 10 in the back, with this, there's no lower back stress. I have found for the exact same 30-minute course, when I wear the Kensui Easy Vest, my heart rate goes up about 10 beats per minute, my calories burned goes up, and my step count goes up, largely because my stride length gets shortened a little bit and I need more steps, especially when I'm going up some of these big hills in my neighborhood. And I will admit, maybe because my body fat is so low, 15 pounds on the Easy Vest for 30 minutes is about all my shoulders and neck want. Climbing stairs or using a step mill with the Kensui weighted vest is another great way to increase the intensity of your cardio sessions. Speaking of Kensui, I've had these Swissies for quite some time, and I've only used them on a couple of occasions for cable exercises, but now that I've started doing seal rows with these, I use them all the time. The Swissies are a hard plastic, but they're extremely tough, and there's a knurled-like feature where you grip, and on the inside there's a UHMW-like material to keep these from slipping and to protect your bars as well as the Swissies. These handles offer a comfortable and ergonomic grip, and they allow me to reach my bar and perform repetitions with a full range of motion and a deep stretch. Kensui even sells inserts for these, which allow you to angle your grip. I like and use the Swissies and vests so much that I became an affiliate for Kensui, so if you purchase any of their products, please consider using my Kensui affiliate link that can be found in the description of this video. Next up, you may have noticed me wearing these grips throughout the video. These are Cobra grips, and this is another product that I've had for years, but now that I'm training for this bodybuilding show, I am using these a lot, and there is no doubt that these have allowed me to move weights that I normally wouldn't be able to move. I think these Cobra grips will also help to keep my golfer's and tennis elbow from getting re-inflamed. I know Versa grips are the most popular grips, but back when I was trying to decide between the two, I read through all the reviews and I compared the prices, and at the moment, the Versa grips are $85 and the Cobra grips are $45. So I'm glad that I went with the Cobra grips because I saved some money and they've held up really well, they're comfortable, and just as important as anything, they work. Another home gym product that I have been using a lot for a lot of different things to prepare for this upcoming bodybuilding show are these Yes For All plyo boxes. I have shown on a number of occasions how good these work for my DIY belt squat, and I've had over 300 pounds on that setup without issue. The plyo boxes also work great for getting into position for dips and pull-ups on my power rack, and I use them to elevate my bench for barbell and dumbbell seal rows. And the plyo boxes also work great as a lift-off point for various bar exercises. You'll notice I have 2.5 pound plates on the boxes just so that the bar doesn't roll off when I'm loading, unloading, and returning the bar at the end of a set. And as I showed earlier, the 16-inch side of the blocks works great to elevate the front side of my Powertec Hyper Crunch so that I can get a more deep and full range of motion when I'm doing dumbbell back and hip extensions. I cut a 1/2-inch horse stall mat in various sizes to place on the boxes so they don't get torn up when I put my bench and bars on them. I think these plyo boxes are extremely easy to assemble. Just make sure you have some power tools, and they normally sell for around $45 on Amazon. I'll have them linked in my Amazon affiliate store if you want to take a closer look at them. And the most recent home gym product that has come my way are the Porter PhysEd Eclipse grips. Porter got started making attachments for the Bells of Steel cable tower and then branched out to making some extremely nice, well-made cable attachments. Porter, awesomely enough, hooked me up with the black and yellow color combo to match my Powertec equipment. Porter has had a hard time keeping the Eclipse grip in stock because they are so highly sought after. Each grip is made from machined aluminum. It has a 33-inch millimeter diameter handle, and there is a 3-inch base. Porter also hooked me up with some of these soft ties so they're more easy to connect carabiners to, and these feel awesome in hand. They swivel, and there's a nice knurling on here for added grip, and these little yellow cushions provide just enough cushion to make them feel comfortable, and there's just enough surface area here to where your hand feels secure. When connected to something like the GymPin Light D handle, the Eclipse grips work great for a variety of tricep pushdowns, a variety of pullovers, and even hammer curls. If you get just one Eclipse grip, it works great for single arm tricep pushdowns, single arm hammer curls, and even some pec fly and rear delt exercise variations. These sell for $90 a piece, and if you get them, I recommend buying 2. And just know when you buy these, you're supporting a small business owner and someone who is a PE teacher. Almost all of the products that I featured today can be found in my Amazon affiliate store or in the various links within my link tree, which can be found in the description of this video. If you purchase any of these products, please consider using one of my affiliate links at no additional cost to you. It helps me out, but more importantly than that, it lets the company know that I am helpful to their brand. And if you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment. And I will be preparing for this bodybuilding show over the next few weeks, so wish me luck, and I'll give you an update soon. Take care, everyone, and thanks so much.